So I'm going to make a skin serum that is based off of actual sacred essential oils, as opposed to just random stuff. That's not random. Nothing's really ever random that people put in their serums, but just based on my own research, we're just going to go through these different oils here. Sacred frankincense is one that most people put in their face serums, and they'll also use the other frankincense because they both have different properties. But we understand frankincense from the perspective of it was used in Egypt for embalming, and so that is a preservative. So it helps just promote better skin cells. Okay, yes, it's share, and you choose your social media. Okay, so share to Facebook and see what happens. So let's see if you can share it out. So share out this scope, and we're just testing that out too. We want to see how that works so we can tell people how the Facebook share is working and if it does work and if people click on it in Facebook and they're able to come right to this live broadcast. So those of you guys who are on, I would appreciate that because we are testing stuff out as well. Okay, so sacred frankincense we would put in. We also put in hyssop, and hyssop is one of those really cool oils because it's like a great oil for like a skin tonic. So what I encourage you guys to do is when you're looking up oils, what's fun is, you know, if you were to go up and look up hyssop on your app here, you would actually see lots of stuff, right, that it's for. But when you're looking for, oh cool, it doesn't make you leave the scope, so that's good. So that's good. We'll see how those looked on your page, Lindsay. So thank you for doing that. When you look at this, to help you guys understand how to use this better, this is our reference guide for essential oils, is to actually look through everything that it's stating and understand that you need to look for specific things for what this does. And so what I use hyssop for, and you can see that the cap is bigger. So see how here's a bottle of rose and the cap isn't big? This is childproof. The reason for that is because this is pretty intense, okay? So what app are you on? I'm not sure if you guys are answering each other's questions, but this is Periscope, and then the app is through, you can right swipe and send it through to Facebook or Twitter or any place that you want to go. So, and we're testing that out, so please do. But do know that hyssop is really good for, and I'm going to call it skin smoothing, okay? Oh, the reference guide. So it's an app, and it's called the Reference Guide for Essential Oils. And I can't express to you exactly what it says in here because this app is non-compliant because they don't sell oils. They don't have to be compliant. I sell oils. So if you get this app, you can look up hyssop, and I'm going to tell you it's skin smoothing. No, it's okay. Don't worry. You can interrupt anytime. But skin smoothing, and you're actually going to look in there. It starts with an S, and it's a word I'm not really supposed to use. And so you guys can look up what that does and why it has this special cap on it. But this is good. Yeah, and that app is awesome. Okay, so again, moving forward, like myrrh, frankincense and myrrh, those were sacred oils in the Bible from the perspective of Jesus, baby Jesus getting frankincense and myrrh. And we know, again, that in Egypt they used these as embalming, and I talk about this in classes. This is just speculation, but when you look at the symbolism of frankincense and myrrh, that they are embalming fluids, that's what they were traditionally used for. When you give these two to a baby, that's kind of odd. So it is stated all over the place that this was potentially a symbolic thing, that this was given to him because he came to die, right? Very fascinating when you get into the historical references of this. Not that they were the most expensive. Yeah, they were considered expensive gifts, but it's kind of odd giving a baby embalming fluids. But they also understood the properties of these, and so they probably rubbed him all over with this stuff, okay? So this is a smorgasbord of holy oils, exactly. That's why it's the Sacred Seven, and that's what's cool, okay? So also in Bible times, they used cedar wood a lot. This is mentioned in the Bible all over the place. So this is not a Bible oils workshop. This is just to show you my Sacred Seven serum is truly the true Sacred Seven, because these are sacred oils, okay? And cedar wood is a very calming oil, great for keeping your skin clear, okay? So that, again, go look it up and you'll see what I mean by that. Spikenard is that reference in the Bible to nard. And nard was, you know, where she was wiping his feet before he got sent to the cross, and was she was wiping it up with her hair. And again, if you look up spikenard, and it's super cool, you guys, to understand these things, and I'm just going to share with you here. I think I can share with you some of the stuff that's on there. But when you actually see it's from India, they do have high frequencies, a lot of them do. And you can see all the Bible references. They'll actually put in there the Bible references. But that you'll also see that where it was used and other possible uses and all of that, but just to know that this was really used as a skin tonic. And so I can say that because that's nothing major, but it was really a skin tonic, so it helped calm skin. So that's a really good one. So we did hyssop, sacred frankincense, myrrh, cedarwood, spikenard. Watch the replay for all of these. And then we've got Royal Hawaiian Sandalwood. The app is called the Reference Guide for Essential Oils. And the Royal Hawaiian, yeah, there's a couple. Just get the Reference Guide for Essential Oils. It's $6.99. So it's the only one that's going to cost you anything. All the other ones are distributors trying to kind of fool you into getting their app and then buying oils from them. So I always laugh at that, because I have a lot of my customers getting these other apps and they're like, what? So just know it's the one that costs money. And I don't sell it. It's not from me. Okay, so when you look up sandalwood and you understand that you know, what that was used for, it's interesting because, again, this is a physical and emotional frequency of like 96, but then it's going to talk to you about all the different things that it does, and there's a lot. So, you know, I want you to look that up, and it smells fantastic. So people love this stuff, but it's really good for like just the health of your skin. It has really great regenerative properties, and so our skin, it's a great one for your skin. And then rose oil. This is expensive, and so a lot of people do not contain this in their essential oil mix because it's expensive. Go in with it with a bunch of people. I went in on this with 4 people, so I only have like a small amount left, but great, because I can use it in my face serums, and you really only need about 1 drop. And when you look up rose, and people always ask, well, what is rose for? It's good for so many things, and so it's hard to just say, but it does have this like natural ability to help soothe your skin, you know, help with your pores and just your just skin cells. It's really great. So read it, because there's a lot of stuff in there that is great for smoothing. So what I would tell you though too is not to just go for it from the perspective of rosehip seed oil, but I would make your own blend. So if you start then looking at carrier oils, I've got jojoba oil, which is technically a wax. I've got grapeseed oil, and I've got rosehip seed oil. So I would go ahead and put all of those in as well. So you can put your essential oils in first and then put this stuff in. It's really up to you. But what I do is I put the oils in, and because this is so small, I'm only going to put about 3 or 4 drops of each oil in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put a hyssop. I do not have an exact science down to this, and I think it's based on each person, and I don't think I have any Sacred Frank in here right now because my big bottle is now open. So I'm not going to worry about that, so I will put that forward because I know I have to add that. Myrrh is really sticky and gunky, so just know that. It'll come out fine. The hole's a little bigger. Usually it's just because it's thicker, but it will come out fine. So we're going to put 3 drops of myrrh in. And again, you can see the bottle cap there is all chunky. I don't use this that often. I'm going to wipe this, even though you guys know I don't normally do that, but I only do this with my myrrh because I like to try to keep it as clean as possible, or it's almost impossible to get this cap open. So we're going to close that really well. Love it. Myrrh is awesome. Cedarwood, we talked about that. Watch the replay if you're missing some of this stuff. So cedarwood, I'm going to put 4 drops in. So as you start reading the properties of these oils and getting used to what they are, you're going to start coming up with your own concoction. So please, you guys, don't get into this whole thing of like, I have to do exactly what she says or what so-and-so says, because it's based on you. So I'm just going to do 3 drops of spikenard. It's based on your skin and what works best for you. I change this out all the time. And so what that means is based on the seasons, it's what I'm using it for. So here's our sandalwood. And again, if you guys can see that, the tiny little, see the tiny pinhole at the bottom? You probably can't see it anymore. I don't know if you guys can see that. So there's this big hole, and then there's a tiny little pinhole. That's where the oil comes out. So that's the best way to like balance your finger here on whatever you're doing. And then I'm going to drop this out. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do 4 because I love the way this stuff smells. It's awesome. It's good stuff. And then rose. I'm not a big floral fan. It's why I don't use geranium in my face serum. But I'm actually just going to put 2 drops of rose. There it comes. 1. It's like, oh, beautiful rose. This is like, I don't know. Oh, 3 drops. Okay, we got 3 drops. This is like, I don't know. Did anyone do the math on this? It's probably like $3 to $5 a drop, something like that. So it's not a huge deal, but that makes my face serum more expensive than normal. This will last me about a month. So then I'm going to put grapeseed in about a month on that small one. This is tiny. Okay. And I make a mess with this, so that's why I'm using it later. So we're going to put, I use more grapeseed oil just because it's, I can't read what you've posted, so hopefully I'll catch it. Yeah, replay. Oh, cool. Yay. Go watch Lindsay. So that's it though. We're pretty much done. And then this is rosehip seed oil. So I'm going to put, I put about that much in of the grapeseed. I'll probably add more. I just didn't want to overflow it. And then I put a little bbit of jojoba oil in. It's a wax, okay? Again, this little guy here is lasting me about a month. I put it on my face, my neck, my décolletage, and the back of my hands, okay? So, just a little bit of jojoba oil, not much, okay? If you have super dry skin, you guys can actually get into the habit of putting just a little bit of Jamaican black castor oil in, or if you have a lot of pits in your face, that will help with that. And so the question was, why don't I use this neat? Because it would be way too strong. And any of you guys, you know, I hear people say all the time that frankincense, oh, and I have to put my sacred frankincense in. I hear people say all the time that sacred frankincense or frankincense is a very gentle oil. And I'm like, no, it's not. You know, to put that on your eyes, it's, you know, if you get out of a hot shower and put on frankincense by itself, which I think a lot of people do, it's a little spicy. And so it's not a mild oil. And I'm going to put 5 drops of that in because that's my favorite one. But I just want you guys to know, like, this stuff here needs to be diluted because this has a lot of active properties in it, and I only put about 3 to 4 drops of each oil in there. And I'm rolling it. I'm not going to shake this. Now this is going to stay in my dark bathroom area, not exposed to any sunlight. That's why I'm okay with it being in this. But I recommend you doing it in a dark amber bottle. Okay, so that's Sacred 7, the real Sacred 7. Okay,